Imagine this. You're scrolling TikTok, trying to have the time of your life unwind a little bit, and then you see this. 18-year-olds making 100K a month off some random skill business that you've never heard of. Or you scroll a few more times and you see dudes that are overly jacked like they've been taking everything under the sun since they were born. You scroll a few more times and you see people that are so attractive that it's just unfair and everyone's just drawn to them. What you're experiencing and what I experience pretty often, if I'm being honest, is envy. It's a painful, sometimes resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another person that you desire to have yourself. A more common example of how it rears its ugly head today would be jealousy. Jealousy is a way more common terminology that we would see today. Um, But this is day one of a new series I'm starting, going through the seven deadly sins in 7 days. If you're new here, welcome. You may like and subscribe so you don't miss a day, but we're going to get right into it. So, I know for myself, I get jealous all the time. And what's crazy is it doesn't even have to be something super deep. I could see someone at work getting promoted and I'm like, geez, man, you feel me? I saw them, they just be scrolling on their phone or they be coming in late, you know what I mean? That should be me for real. And I be really wishing it was me. Or I could be playing basketball and see somebody who's crazy bouncy, you know what I mean? They're blown by everybody. And I'm like, man, geez, I was like that, you know what I'm saying? But more commonly, I find myself feeling jealous of the people on the internet. And it always seems that they're doing something abstract, something that I wasn't even thinking about at first, but somehow they're just doing it better. They're just doing something I hadn't thought of, and I was having a great day. I was living my best life before I saw it, and then the moment it came across my eyes, I was like, "Wow, I didn't know what this was 4 minutes ago, but now I wish it was me that was in that position." And that's mentally exhausting because in that situation just a few moments ago, I was walking my own path. But now I'm comparing myself to others that seem to be further down the proverbial path of life than I am. And that makes me unsatisfied with where I am in life. You know the saying, comparison is the thief of joy, and that's so true. Because if comparison is the thief of joy, I feel like I've been fleeced for all my belongings. And I know I'm not the only person that deals with this. I know for me, at the peak of my professional hating, I was moving different, you know what I'm saying? I was Edgar Allan Poe carefully crafting the most underhand remarks, analyzing the target, cultivating a statement so careful that I knew it would inflict maximum damage. But when I really analyzed the time of my life, it was when I had the least amount of purpose, the least amount of hope. I was lost. I didn't know who I was, where I was going, or anything of that nature. So I had all these insecurities, and instead of dealing with it myself, I was simply projecting it onto people I perceived were doing better than me. It wasn't until I started focusing on myself and had my own purpose that the things going on that I felt that I no longer felt I needed to hate on other people's journey. So I needed to focus on where I am and where I'm going. And I know it's not just myself. Our culture is packed, jam packed, full of people who make themselves feel better by hating on others. It's like their whole profession. Like they wake up, "Ah, I just feel like hating today." And, and it's crazy because most of these times, these people are secretly jealous of the very people that they're hating on. And it's insane how people will take the time they could be using to better themselves to sit in someone else's comments, sit behind someone's back, and just think of the most creative ways to belittle what they're doing or invalidate their accomplishments. just so they can feel better about themselves. Like, it's hard for me to believe that these are really people that spend their days trying their hardest to keep up with celebrities and influencers just to point out the smallest flaws, to tear them down, and to troll on their pages. Like, there's no reason for this behavior to be so normalized. It's almost an art form. The carefully crafted backhand compliments are getting out of hand. I remember I was scrolling TikTok and no, actually not TikTok, Instagram. That's how you know when things on Instagram Reels be having the craziest comments. I seen someone was trying to post like a thirst trap. They were feeling confident, trying to, you know what I mean, feeling themselves. And the top comment was, "You're so brave for posting this." Like, that's so underhanded. Like, it's not, "Oh, you look good." It's not, "Oh, you're so brave in general." It's, "You're so brave for posting this." Implying that they wouldn't have posted it, implying that they don't look good. You know what I mean? They're trying to belittle what that person is feeling confident about themselves or whatever the case may be. Or I saw another one, "There's always time to delete this." You know what I mean? Where they're trying to seem as if they're giving friendly advice, but what they're really doing is just trolling. And take this with a grain of salt. Because I do believe that some people be posting some goofy stuff on the internet and it's completely out of line, and the comments do put them in check. But other times, people genuinely be just trying to show something they're proud of, and then they get slandered, burned at the stake by people who would do some crazy things to be in that very position. I also recall another quote that says, "Hate only comes from below," because people who are on a mission, have a goal that they're chasing, they don't have time to look down on you or try to belittle you because life is already hard enough as it is. Another thing is social media in particular is so carefully cultivated that 9 times out of 10, what someone is showing you isn't the full reality of what they have going on, but the highlight reel, edited even further to look better. When I was able to realize that these 18-year-olds with these expensive cars were taking out loans and renting them to give off the appearance of wealth, I realized that I just need to run my own race. No matter what distractions appear on the left or on the right, or regardless of whoever seems to be doing better than me. What I am doing and striving for is all that matters, and not in a narcissistic way, but in a way that if I'm going to compare myself to someone, it's going to be a comparison to myself yesterday. And the question I'm going to ask myself is, am I better today? Did I move forward? Am I closer to where I want to be? But to get to that point, I can't lie, it costs. Like, you know what I mean? Everything has a price. It cost me something. Because I was so used to being resentful towards people who seemed to be doing better than me. It cost me my comfort. It cost me my distractions. I could no longer use picking apart other people to ignore how my life seemed as if it wasn't going anywhere. I had to put the social media down and create something of my own that so I can focus on and put my energy towards making myself a little bit better than I was yesterday. And that's also one of the reasons I created this channel. It's sort of a creative outlet for me. It's a place where I can speak my mind and document how my thoughts and patterns and mentalities grow and develop. Now, I'm not saying I found the magic bullet. I still see others, and the first thing my mind does is beep, boop, beep, 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 analyze what's wrong with them. But I try my hardest to snap myself out of that thought pattern and focus on what's really important. This is day one of seven deadly sins in 7 days. Please come back tomorrow for day two, and thank you for resonating with me for just a few moments. If you've enjoyed, consider subscribing and liking the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I also want this channel to have a blessing comment section where you guys share your thoughts and we're just growing and debating. Like, I love to debate, bro. So if you have something that you disagree with or you just have a different view, bro, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. But this is E. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.